Welcome to another Iron Fork of Friday. It's Friday. Fantastic. Oh, yeah. Fantastic to have you here. It is going to be a great day. Iron Fork is loading up. We have so many cakes in here today. There's cake all over the place.
Yeah, there's even cake in the friggin' spectator spots. Man, so messy.
It's cake everywhere. It's cake-tastic today.
There is actually cake on every single ship somewhere.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And we're already full. Normally we say, hey, folks, remember this is a public event. We have a couple spaces left. Please join. The password is blah, 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 blah. This isn't the situation. We're already full.
Password. Let's drop the password, just in case something
happens. What was the password again?
Oh, God. It was weird today.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Let me check.
Hold on a second. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up because I have Skizzity Skype here with me. I originally suggested that the
short crust.
I originally suggested that the password should be dongle, and then Cake started trying to type that in to join the match early, and yeah, there was some confusion. So I'm still laughing about that.
Awkward, sir. Hey,
follow my dongle. I ask you this, as I quite classily eat my early dinner on air.
Dongle sounds really dirty to me. Always has.
What's wrong with you?
The word. Nothing wrong with me.
Everything has to have a dongle. My laptop has a dongle. My desktop has a dongle. My mixer has a dongle. I have a dongle. Wait, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, see? You're implicated in this too.
Damn it. Damn it. So we had a lot to talk about today as we get ready to go here.
Mostly about dongles, apparently.
Again, this is the Iron Fork of Friday. It is a public Guns of Icarus event. We cast it, but that doesn't mean you can't get involved with it. Feel free to join when you see an open spot. You may not get in, though, if you're watching the stream for the spot because there is a 30-second delay. Just keep hammering it between matches. You never know when you might get in. People cycle out all the time through this. It is a public event that Cake puts on to get to know the community a bit better, to give people a chance to play against Cake, to just have a ton of fun for your Friday afternoon. It's so much fun to be a part of this. But we also have, oh, by the way, if we didn't get introductions there real quick, I'm Dan. I'm Dan on the mic. Over there, co-caster, Fourth Oracle.
Yep. We do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Now, you usually have the Metamidian afterwards, but not this week.
Not this week, not next week. I decided, I'm back visiting my parental units. Woo! And my brother, of course. And the internet here is too choppy, and it's too weak to stream anything. Like, even 480p is going to be a stretch. So it's just like, instead of doing something that's probably going to go poorly, I'm just going to wait.
There you go. Also, Rob is on the camera and pushing all the buttons, keeping us on air. We do appreciate that.
Yeah. That guy.
Push it gently, you dickbag.
I like how the true nature of the relationship comes out.
Usually does. Oh, we got Rethburn in here.
What does the blue text mean?
Mod. That's mod. They've gone back to blue text for mods.
Gotcha.
Yep. We got Captain Rethburn from Bully Boys in here. We got some Iris going orangey, brought a couple folks in. We have a duck or two sitting about, tons of cakes, and some random folks who just decided they really wanted to hop in. Now, really quick here, before we get into this, while we're waiting for the red team to ready up, we do have a Festus Challenge tomorrow. Now, the big ones, Clamor versus Overwatch.
Yeah.
And Glowwater Thralls versus Sacrilege.
Yeah, the latter match is going to be against two of the higher ranking teams. I think their records are pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. I don't have the sheet in front of me. And the everything is so close that it's hard to keep track of who's where.
Yeah, it's tough. Right now, Glowwater Thralls are at the top. Sacrilege, although they did get taken down by Cake early on, they've kept things together relatively well.
Yeah, they've been doing particularly well. Them and Yeah, them and Overwatch. Those two have been performing really well. And also the Riders. I'd say like Sacrilege, Riders, Overwatch are kind of together right now.
I would agree with that.
They're going to be clawing over one another.
Our first game. A pause button there. We'll get to that talk eventually here. We are getting into the very first game of the Iron Fork of Friday. 3v3s all day long. We're starting out with Canyon Ambush. Oracle, tell us about the map.
You got some big areas to the north and the south, perfect for sniping if you want to try to keep someone stuck in their spawn. But toward the middle, which is where most of the action tends to happen, even in competitive matches, you have some really tight canyons with lots of clouds, plenty of chance for ambush. It's almost like it was made for that sort of thing, huh?
Maybe. Maybe. Oracle, I'm not loaded in yet. If you want to go ahead and do red team loadouts real quick.
I'm taking a minute too.
Okay, I'll start out. I just got in.
Yep.
So starting out, the flying poke, flown by Abby the Rep. It's a Spire. It's a Hwacha Spire, in fact. Double Carronade and Flamers. Oh, that's a Brawl Spire, something fierce.
Yeah, no kidding.
We'll see how that goes. Abby is a great pilot, very aggressive. So we'll see exactly how that works out. We also have, what is that? What's my ship name here? Where are you?
The Mummy.
Oh, the Mummy. There it is. Flown by Acronymus. It's a Pyramidian, Hades Flak on the front, Flamer Carronade on the side. We also have the Lutetia, flown by Halia Farron, Banshee and Gat on the front there. Interesting combination. We'll see how it functions. Flamer and Carronade on the side. You can get a trifecta with that, I do believe. That's not too hard. Not too hard at all.
Banshee, that's one of the advantages of Banshee port side. Easy trifecta because of the range. For the blue team, we have the Colossiager. It has a Hades Artemis on the port side with a Mercury on the front, interestingly enough, and a Gat Mortar Brawl side on the starboard. Aboard the Allomancer.
Oh my god.
Squid being piloted by Sir Morty. We have a Carronade on the front, Flamer on the starboard, and Mine Launcher on the back. Oh, I should have mentioned Colossiager being piloted by Orangey. Sorry about that.
This is going to be amazing. Orangey and Morty piloting together again this first game. This is going to be crazy.
And aboard their third wheel, we have the Zarathustra. What was that? Zarathustra. There we go. Zarathustra.
Yeah, there you
Spire
go.
being
It's a ticket.
Being piloted. Yeah, Spire being piloted by Nietzsche's mustache. Hwacha Spire as well, with a Flamer on the front, Mine Launcher on the port, Carronade on the starboard. Another really strong Brawl Spire. And it looks like, see, are the teams going to miss each other that bad?
They are. They are pretty heavily going to miss each other. I don't know what exactly has been. I don't know what exactly has been going on lately, but the Brawl Spire has slowly been creeping back, trying to get some attention for itself. Now, a lot of people consider. A lot of people consider the Spire to be relatively weak because of its hull issues, but it does have a lot, and I mean a lot of those forward-facing guns.
Let's see. I'm actually setting it up right now. I forgot my mic stand, and I can't find anything to serve as let's see, any sort
Are you
of,
holding the mic right now?
Maybe.
Do you feel like a rock star?
Oh yeah. I feel more like a news interviewer. I'm trying to figure out. Here we go. All right. So camera up, mouse scroll wheel up, camera down, mouse scroll wheel down. Let's see. All right. I have left, right, forward, backward. Then I have up, down.
This is incredibly complex.
Let's do this.
Both teams are quite.
This is great.
You're one-handed.
I got it.
You're one-handed.
I got it. I am controlling the camera with one hand. This is great. I'm the best at everything ever.
This is the last thing Oracle should have figured out.
This is great. Are you kidding me? This is like, I should have learned this like a million years ago. The best part is like, because I set it to the scroll wheel, every time I scroll up, it only goes a little bit up, so I can hold forward and really smoothly go up and down. Oh my god, this is great. Rob, get on this shit.
Not after you said smoothly going up and down.
Both teams are still slowly circling each other, and it's just like,
that's what she said.
I hate my life.
Welcome to the Rob and Dan Show. I'm not associated.
With myself, Rob.
What?
What?
I'm sorry. I'm so freaking out over freaking one-handing this camera. This is the best.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? So here's what I've got. I've got left click, it strafes me left, right click, strafes me right. I have scroll wheel, moving the camera up and down. Then I have, since I have like, what was it? A Logitech G9, I don't even remember. It's a really sweet gaming mouse, but it has two mappable buttons on the side. One's forward, one's back, and I have mouse button 5 forward, mouse button 4 back, and this is so awesome. Though I think my hand's gonna get tired after a little while.
I can imagine.
This is kind of weird.
This is also very weird because both teams are still circling each other.
Frace just surrendered. What?
What?
Oh, France. I was like, what? Frace?
Fox is actually Italian, so that's probably some kind of inside joke.
Haha, I get it.
I don't get it either.
It's not an inside joke, man. Dude, yeah, you know what happens when you take the red dot out of the middle of the Japanese flag, right? You get the French flag.
Oh, hey!
This camera control is so cool. I need to make the I need to find a way to make the vertical movement more sensitive.
So while we do have a free moment, one thing I did want to go over real quick. The first match will be on the Rob and Dan Show stream. That's right at 4 p.m. EST. Clamor versus Overwatch. I feel like Clamor. Yes, for Hephaestus tomorrow. I feel like Clamor and Overwatch are in very similar positions at the moment. Both have had a little bit of a stumble point. One lost to the Muse team. The other lost to DPA in the exact same week. They both are taking took last week to recover. They both had bye weeks. This week, they need to sort it out. They need to figure out who is going to really start making that solid climb towards Gold League.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Celestian. I already said my left hand is holding the microphone.
Oh, we got spots. We got combat. The Lutetia is moving in on the Colossus Jaeger, but Zarathustra is in a solid flanking position, and those shots are just not landing on the giant. Well, none of the landing. Fires are starting to. Nope. They have them pretty much under control except the hull. That's not a huge problem. Allomancer, though, is moving in. Flamer is all over the place. They're going to get that carronade going. They're turning. Morty is getting that carronade all over the VSS Mummy. Mummy is starting to have some major issues. Fires all over the place. Balloon is in trouble. Armor is going down. But Allomancer losing control of the situation just a little bit. Morty ducks down.
Fine.
Armor comes back up. They're gone. They're safe. Mummy, though, bad situation.
No permahull damage on the Allomancer. In the meantime, the Flying Poke has come around behind and is engaging the Colossus Jaeger. However, I feel like, I don't know, the Jaeger setup, not particularly powerful. I think the Flying Poke may have this.
That Brawl build on that Spire is just powerful. If it's not dying, it's going to be killing something. Colossus Jaeger loses their balloon. Their armor is taking some major hits. They're losing gun ports. Fires all over that Junker. They are in deep trouble.
Nice watcher. Yeah, this is the thing about the Brawl Spire. If it gets that first volley off, it wins the engagement pretty much. Colossus Jaeger dropping down, not looking great. It's going to bottom out. Flying Poke, I'm going to lag a little bit. There we go. Colossus Jaeger.
We just got the first kill. The Lutetia did go down, I believe, to the Allomancer there. And now Allomancer is moving in to get the Poke.
Yep, Allomancer moving in to try and help out the Colossus Jaeger. Zarathustra dropping down as well. Flying Poke in a fair bit of trouble right now. It's done a really good job against the Colossus Jaeger, but I think with it having dropped down so low, Allomancer dealing with the balloon to the Flying Poke, it's going to bottom out, and it's going to die quick. If the Colossus Jaeger can just hold on for one more moment, but its engines are no good. Yeah, its balloon's okay. Flying Poke goes down. 2-0. Blue team
that was
a
a pretty close engagement there. Flying Poke, I think if they had a little bit better support from their allies, they had the Colossus Jaeger. Zarathustra came in, though. Allomancer came in, supported their ally, just barely saved the Colossus Jaeger by the skin of their teeth, but they did pull it out 2-0 in favor of the blue team.
Just barely. Just barely.
I think it was just a little...
Colossus Jaeger's armor not looking great. I think like the real defining portion of that was the flying poke was out of the fight for too long, and when it did finally join the fight, it was only fighting one ship. And so it was a 2v3 for a significant portion of time.
That's very true. And when it did finally come in, the support that the poke had from its team had already been whittled away by the Allomancer and by the Zarathustra.
Mm-hmm. Mummy coming in. It's been spotted. Lutetia around the same area. It fires off a Gatling. So I think blue team knows where the Lutetia is, but the flying poke is very slowly coming around the canyon, potentially going for a flank. Now, usually the Spire, that's not what you think about doing something like this. But I mean, if that Spire gets a first volley off good, then it can do some serious work.
We saw the potential just now against the Colossus Jaeger, but Colossus Jaeger nearly died. They nearly went down. It has almost no permahull left. So the potential is there. That Brawl Spire, when it gets the initiative, is just incredibly powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. The trick is giving it the initiative. Zarathustra moving in, flying poke coming around the side, but it may be a bit early. Allomancer going to move over, take care of the flying poke, okay, going to give the Zarathustra plenty of time to repair everything. And I think that this may have been a misstep, Dan.
Flying poke had no chem spray rotation when it was going into a brawl situation. They knew Allomancer is on the blue side of things. They know Zarathustra is on the blue side of things. Colossus Jaeger's there too. They know those ship loadouts. Chem spray should have been all over that Spire. They were charging in. That was a major mistake.
Oh, the Zarathustra goes down.
Wow.
They managed to get it anyway. Lutetia, just a bit too much for that Spire. This is the disadvantage of a Spire. Allomancer, though, doing a really good job on the Lutetia. Flying poke goes down as well. Both Spires out of the fight, but this is blue spawn. The Zarathustra is going to spawn in really soon. Question is where?
The Allomancer.
There it is.
It spawns back in with plenty of range. Early volley gets off. Actually doing something to the... Wow. A bit of panic fire. Spawn panic fire from the Zarathustra takes out.
No.
Oh, it was a Colossus Jaeger. Colossus Jaeger got the kill. Okay.
That was not a panic shot. Like what they were saying was, okay, what you usually want to do is, it takes almost as long to reload as it does to fire and reload. So they just fire what's in the Hwacha, a couple shots will hit maybe, and then they get the reload going. So it wasn't a panic shot. It was just, hey, we may as well fire while we're loading up useful ammo.
Okay, bad terminology, but it's still just a generic shot that you hope and pray hits something.
Mummy getting chased down right now. Blue team really the power players in this game. Allomancer coming in, popping the balloon. Will the balloon of the Mummy go down? Is it burning? No, it's not. They have chem spray on it, but the armor is down. Colossus Jaeger using that brawl side to great effectiveness.
They weren't even going for the balloon. Allomancer wasn't even hunting for the balloon. They knew Orangey was supporting them with the Colossus Jaeger. They wanted to kill.
Yep, and they got it no problem. Now, the blue team has moved a little bit into the canyon. However, I think this favors the blue team right now. The Colossus Jaeger, I mean, if it gets jumped, yeah, it's not going to be in a great position. If it's in a regular engagement, yeah, it's not going to be in a great position. So if they go for something, ambushy, then this may be really strong. Lutetia coming in. Colossus Jaeger a bit low, but this Spire is in a lot of trouble.
Allomancer bumps the Zarathustra out of arc. Badly out of arc, in fact, giving the Lutetia tons of extra time to try and deal with that Spire. Allomancer, though, finally bringing itself into arc. We should see that Flamer here very shortly. Carronade is moving, but that Flamer on the Allomancer is going to scare Morty off there. I think Lutetia is going to make it out of this one. Allomancer needs to, back up just a little bit, but it looks like, if they feel they're under control of the situation.
Ooh, Zarathustra getting a nice Watcher Barrage on the flying poke. Not quite enough to finish them off. And the Colossus Jaeger still in a fair bit of trouble. Mummy coming in from on high. Can it get the shots down? No, it's too close. It's way within arming time. Flying poke being forced up. It is afraid, but now it is getting focused down by the Allomancer. No, Allomancer going to split down. Stay on the Lutetia. try and help the Colossus Jaeger as the Zarathustra and the Flying Poke go at it. The Hwacha just does not land the way it needs to, and the Zarathustra has a chance to strike back.
A great
Mummy's
quick
here as well.
A great quick assistance from the Colossus Jaeger helps the Elementor finish off that Pyramidion. It's 6-1 in favor of the red team. Although, Zarathustra gets eaten alive by the Flying Poke and the Mummy.
Yep, the Mummy, just a little bit too much support there. Elementor moving in. It's 2-6, though, in favor of the blue team. Flying Poke, not looking great.
They
The
don't have anything
Elementor might
left.
actually be able to finish this off if they can bring the armor down one more time. However, the Mummy is here. Colossus Jaeger coming in. There goes the armor. Colossus wants to get the kill. There it is.
Wow.
No problem.
They were it looks like they were trying to go for some kind of Junker Ram. It didn't quite happen. Good work, though. Good work on the blue team's part. They get the first win today. Remember, folks, if you want to join us here in Guns of Icarus, this is a public event. It's a public event that Cake puts on every single Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. You can join us in-game. What was the password again, Oracle?
It was shortbread, I believe.
Short crust.
Short crust.
Short
There we go.
crust. There it is. Had to remember exactly what it was there. It's a little odd, but you know what? That's why they put a password on it.
I'm checking this. What is short crust?
I have no
Google,
idea.
help me. Is it just like
All pray to
Yeah,
Doodles.
short
Desert Scrap
yeah,
is
short
a
crust
notable
pastry
option.
is just like shortbread.
Desert
crust?
Scrap!
Here we go.
We love this map. So much fun.
It is a lot of fun. It's basically just a brawl fest for like half an hour.
And
It's a bunch of fun.
it's always a good time. There's clouds, there's a big wreckage, there's a Sarlacc pit, but we'll get to that once we get to the map description. Great job there by the blue team. Once again, if you want to join us, the password is short crust. You can join us in game when a spot opens up. There's a spot on the spectators available if you're interested in that. But we did have an spot on Alexandria Halia's Galleon. There,
Yeah, we'll
as
see.
well.
We'll see.
Again, public event. Feel free to join. Password is short crust, all one word. With that being said, though, going back to the Hephaestus matchups for this weekend, one thing I'm not sure, one match I'm not sure is going to be the most action-packed or, you know, the greatest teams ever playing, but certainly is going to be very exciting. Black Flight Squadron versus Sky Invading Rhinos. Black Flight Squadron is still without a win so far in the preseason. They're struggling a bit. Sky Invading Rhinos may not. I'm concerned whether they can take on Sky Invading Rhinos in this situation, but you can bet they're going to fight for it.
Yeah, but I feel like they're already so far behind. They're gonna have to win pretty much every consecutive match, and the Sky Invading Rhinos are really strong.
It's going to be a tough situation for them. On the other side of things, our second game here on the Rob and Dan Show stream is Ryder versus Mad Hatters.
Mad Hatters.
How are the Mad Hatters looking?
It's gonna be their first competitive game, besides maybe scrims. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm sure they're great players, but I mean, when you put together a new team like this, like in the middle of a tournament, not great. Not great.
Mhm. How do you feel about the team that you guys have put back together for the Mad Hatters?
I like we have a mix of older and newer names.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, more than anything, it's going to take practice. Because, I mean, I worry that the older players are going to expect that the newer players, like, know these certain things, but there's going to be a little bit of misplaced trust. And it's going to take quite a bit to work out the kinks. Like, whenever you end up putting a newer competitive player onto an older team, like, that kind of happens. You end up with that dissonance.
Yes. And then the week after this week, next week, we go back to the full schedule. The bye weeks are done with, and we're going to have 3 matches over here on the Rob and Dan Show stream and 4 over on Imagine 42 stream. And then we go back to switching off to the end of the preseason.
Yeah,
actually,
like, that's
again there are a couple great matches coming up in the last week of the Hephaestus Challenge that I'm really looking forward to. Cake versus Blackfly Squadron's a bit of a historical. What's the word I'm looking for? Oracle, help me out here.
I don't know. I don't know.
There's a lot of history between those two teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what word you're looking for.
I'm not sure either. There's a lot of history between Cake and Black Flight Squadron, though. Even though Black Flight Squadron's really not doing very well, it's going to be a ton of fun to see those two going at each other. Sacrilege and Holy Roman Army. I think Sacrilege has a chance to deal with Holy Roman Army.
Yeah, but HRA is tied with Glowwater Thralls, like, for the top spot.
Yeah, no one can stop him yet.
I don't know. Like, I feel like the Holy Roman Army is too consistent right now to fight.
Mhm.
Like, the other teams need to show a level of consistency that HRA does. Like, I'd say HRA is the most consistent team
Mm-hmm.
in the game right now.
Unfortunately, Glowwater Thralls does not face HRA in the preseason.
That's going to be scary eventually. Like, if they do end up playing against one another, I would not be surprised to see gold bracket finals Glowwater Thralls versus HRA.
That wouldn't shock me either. Both teams are incredible, doing absolutely just above and beyond what any of us expect. Well, I think we expected Glowwater Thralls to stand out. I don't think any of us expected HRA to stand out.
Glowwater Thralls were the strongest team going into the tournament.
Certainly one of the,
Period.
definitely.
I think they were, like, just period. Like, they had been winning events. Like, with the Mandarin's gone, they were the next up. But Holy Roman Army is really Holy Roman Army has shown their stuff.
Yeah, and we're looking to do the interview during Hephaestus tomorrow with Scrimscraw to get his thoughts on where it is right now. Anywho, though, Desert Scrap is the map. We were talking a little bit about it earlier. It's a King of the Hill map. It is a centralized point, and we need to go very quickly because spots are already down. For the red team, we have... I can't see anything. There we go. Now I can see stuff. Stuff was broken. All right, we have the Poke, piloted by Abby the Rat. It's a Pyramidion. Gap Mortar on the front with double mine launchers on the side. She's taking her standard loadout for King of the Hill. Flaming Raviolini, piloted by Fox or Q Fox P.
Fox P.
On the right-hand side, we have double mine launcher, front flamer. Left-hand side, double mine launcher. There's mine launchers all over the place. And then we have the Alexandria, piloted by Halia Farron. Left side, Carronade Huacha with double mortars in support. And right-hand side is Carronade Huacha.
Yep, mortar. Alexandria loves them. For the blue team, we have the Colossus Jaeger, a Junker being piloted by Orangey. On the poor side, mine launchers. It's okay. So 3 mine launchers with a brawling starboard side. Gonna have to do this quick. Allomancer Squid being piloted by Sir Morty. Front is a Carronade. Starboard is a flamethrower. Back is a mine launcher. And aboard the Brawlbula, which is anything but, we have a Mercury field gun up on top. Artemai on the lower decks. Hades on the wings.
There is just duking out all over the place. Allomancer has suffered a little bit of permahull damage, but it's not terrible. Poke, Flaming Raviolini, both in not so great situations. Alexandria is trying to create some support fire. Allomancer takes a ram against the Alexandria, but only damages his own hull. Morty needing to play a little carefully now if he doesn't want to go down. Armor on it being ripped apart. Allomancer losing it, just has a scrap of hull left, and that's it. That's about 1 pixel.
If they lose their armor and they don't have much armor to begin with, there we go. Allomancer's down. Blue team did manage to pick up the point, so now it's just defense for them. Allomancer going down, though, is going to make it difficult. Colossus Jaeger using that balloon to play defense, defend itself against the Alexandria and the Poke. Mine goes out. Nice hit. Going to throw the Poke out. I think the Colossus Jaeger can buy enough time for that Squid to come back in. In the meantime, Brawlbula doing quite a bit of work on the Flaming Raviolini.
He's doing his best. Now, he does have the
look at that damage.
Whoo, boy. The Merc is out on the Brawlbula, but I don't think they're caring about that. They're just focusing on Artemis work there. Colossus Jaeger is doing everything in its power to stay alive. Poke is pressing it against the wall slowly but surely.
There we
It goes. Ground down. Red team, though, not able to turn the point because the Brobula is just barely in range. Whoa!
Just barely. Not anymore. Mine's going to throw him completely off.
That was a double
Allomancer.
mine hit. That was a great double mine hit.
Yeah, the Allomancer is taking way too long to get in here. Like, whoa, what happened to its engines? Is it... What happened? Like, was it just sitting in the dust storm for a year?
I'm not too sure.
Holy cow,
Brobula is
yeah,
just-
gonna have to back up.
Whew, they're tapping. They're tapping. They're losing their balloon. They're losing their armor. They're going to ground out if they don't do something.
What? What are
Wow.
they doing? Are they dying purposefully?
I don't know, to be entirely honest, but they go down. They go down to
Yeah, I guess-
a piece of rebar.
Allomancer's in there, though, and so is the Colossus Jaeger. I feel like that hull reset was unnecessary. Like, they
I
just
would
wanted
agree.
more hull, but right now they're needed in this fight. Allomancer is in there. Flaming Raviolini having a little bit of trouble rising up. It's doing it, though, slowly but surely. Colossus Jaeger going to come in here, try and stop him. Mines go out on the Colossus, but not going to land the way they need to, and the Colossus Jaeger has a very large chance against the Flaming Ravioloni.
Ravioloni. Allomancer is doing some very serious work against the Alexandria. Alexandria, though, did not have the chem spray rotations going at all on anything.
Allomancer.
And they're hurting something fierce because of it.
Oh! Allomancer.
Oh,
Oh, my
God.
goodness. Triple mines. Too much.
That
Way out of the fight. It's hanging out
Crazy.
really low. Red team has a really strong hold on this point. I mean,
Yep.
this is why you take a galleon on, like, you take a brawling galleon on Desert Scrap. The Alexandria, every time we see the
Oh, God!
Alexandria on Desert Scrap, ooh, see Daisy.
that was
Every time we see a galleon on Desert Scrap, it does well. Like, I remember we had a triple galleon build
Mhm.
once, and it won just
It worked
because
out.
nobody could push him off.
I'm really liking the combination right now of these different ships. The Alexandria, great stationary support vessel, sits in there and makes sure no one gets close. The flaming Ravioloni has all those mine launchers. It can set up the mines. It can just toss them out as much as it likes. It has access to 20 mines, 5 mines per 4 mine launchers, 20 mines, and the Poke. For when something absolutely must die right now, Abby knows how to use the Poke. It's a meta minion. It's going to grind people down far too quickly for people to respond to it.
Look at this mine placement. I mean, this looks legitimately
I
like,
wouldn't want to go through that. No way in hell.
It looks legitimately like something you'd see in the ocean. Like,
Yep.
look at the spacing. I mean, they're using different ammo types to create, different levels.
I love
they're
it.
firing up
I love
high,
it.
down low. I mean, it's going to be very difficult to actually work their way through it. It's not like you just find a hole in it and you go through. No, it's
There
going to
really
take
isn't
a
a
minute because you have
direct
to go.
hole.
You have to go forward a little bit. Yeah, then you have to rise up. I mean, this is going to be really tricky to get through. I mean, if you're going to do a mine screen, do it right.
Yeah.
This is great. This could not be more perfect. And honestly, like, I think that the next engagement that blue team tries to do is going to have to come from like the hole from in behind, like back here,
Yep. Yep.
or they're just going to have to throw bodies at the mines and hope that eventually one of them gets through.
That's not going to work in their favor because that's exactly what the red team wants to do. They just want them to charge in and grind themselves down before they. Oh, Colossus Jaeger is going in. There's one hit.
Yep.
Oh, God!
Holy cow. Well, there's one down. Flaming Raviolini, though, going to have to redo some of that.
Everyone
getting
is
sniping.
losing their shit in chat. They loved that. Alamander just got nuked by the mines as well, but he did get in. Armor is back up. They do have some engine fires to deal with, but they're in close against the Alexandria. Chem sprays were not up on it except a couple of the guns. Alexandria's going to have to deal with these problems before it can assist its allies, but they're loading that heavy carronade into the Allomancer. Mortars are going out. They get the kill. Great assist from the Poke.
Yeah, the moment someone tries to move in onto the point, the Alexandria is going to take care of them. Brobula doing a fair bit against the Flaming Raviolini, but the Poke is just like, we'll go take care of him. I hope they don't decide to go out, because the Brobula right now, I mean, it can harass, but I feel like these ships can take care of themselves, despite that harass.
Another beautiful thing about how they're using the Alexandria, it's the tank of the situation. Teams are, great mine hit from the Colossus Jaeger. Colossus Jaeger is inside the mine screen ever so gently. It's getting hammered though.
It's gonna hit these mines if it's not careful. There's one.
Oh God!
There's two. It's when these mines all go off at once.
There's another!
See, that was just good mine placement. Flaming Raviolini throwing one out. There's another. It's just screening right now. I mean, it just figures the Colossus Jaeger can't really do much right now. I mean, it's not like they need the Colossus Jaeger off the point. They just need to keep him down and out of the fight. Oh, there's a mine above him. I don't think it's going to land, though. Oh, that one's going to land. Throw him into the light. All they need to do is just keep him down. They don't need to get the kill at this point. They just need to buy time until they get,
They need to keep his head
points
down. That's all. Another great mine hit. Colossus Jaeger is absolutely hurting.
Brobula popping mines. Oh, look at that mine. Going to zone out the Brobula.
Oh, there he goes. Colossus Jaeger dies to attrition and mine damage.
These mines, like, what I really like is they're not going for, like, a brawl mine bit. They're really making a screen. Like, I love this. This is so aesthetically pleasing. Like, just the way that they're arranged, it looks like a World War II, like, submarine epic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's great.
What they've done with these mines is just stellar, and how they've been using them to make sure the blue team has no chance of getting onto that point. It's artistry at work. Or who's piloting that? Is that Orangey? No, that's Fox. Fox, Maddie, Nishi's mustache, and Darwin
coming in. There hasn't been enough time to set the screen back up, but they're gonna run right into the Alexandria. Flamer going out. Flaming Raviolini rising up.
Perfect arc from the Alamancer on the Alexandria, but they are going to start dropping here. The Alexandria did lose their balloon. They have some fires they have to deal with. Alamancer, though, realizing that it's overstayed its welcome already. Poke is turning in on it. They're trying to get out of here. Flamer going out, but it's just not quite enough. Alamancer is, it's tanking damage. It is tanking like a boss.
Colossus Jaeger being given a chance to get in here. Mines are out, but the Poke is in danger of them just as much as the Colossus Jaeger. And the Poke is going to have to drop down. It's getting the worst of this brawl. I mean, Junkers are just better. Brobula not looking great right now. Hwacha goes out against it. I think the Brobula is the really strong one here. Poke goes down to the Colossus Jaeger, and now the Alexandria and the Flaming Raviolini are left alone. That mine screen is not up fast enough and not set up the way it needs to. And now the Alexandria are going to get ripped through now. Blue team so close to victory, but they just, I don't think they can hold on to it. Alexandria desperately trying to stay alive. There goes the armor. Gatling, gonna shred it down. That's the Artemis. Brobula picks up the kill, and now the Flaming Ravioloni, the only one left, and all it's got is mines.
It has mines and a flamer. It has a flamer.
Yeah. And a flamer.
And a flamer and a partridge in a pear tree. It is still, however, sitting on the point, and the Poke is speeding back in. Abby is not even being gentle with the kerosene right now. She is keeping that kerosene tapped in those engines.
Oh, mines go out. Gonna throw the Brobula down. Doesn't hit the Alamancer or the Colossus Jaeger, though. Those are the really scary targets at the moment. Poke coming in. Finishes off the Brobula. The Flaming Ravioloni not looking so great right now. Alamancer gonna take care of him real quick.
Yeah, Morty is just frightening with those gentle squid taps, just those gentle taps that nudge you a little too hard into the geometry and get that physics kill to finish you off. Morty is an exceptional squid pilot, but Poke coming in. Alamancer taking immense amounts of damage. Poke, though, on fire.
So close. Poke just needs to drop down a little bit. The Alamancer has a chance here, but the dust storm is coming in, and that is going to damage the engines way too much. Poke losing its engines as well, though. It looks like it's just going to be a repair fest.
Alamancer has a good opportunity here to get some damage on the Alexandria. Alexandria hugged up against the weave, the wire frame, but could not get in. Alamancer doing a number on the poke once again. This is pretty impressive piloting. The fact that Morty still hasn't lost the Alamancer here, I'm impressed. But red team has still held the point. We are inches away from victory.
Yep, we're very close to the point of no return. The question is, can the poke survive long enough? The answer is yes. 15 points to victory. Red team gonna get this one.
Great win. That mine play wasted so much time.
Oh yeah. That mine play was really good. I mean, the poke had 2 mine launchers. I like how they just said, you know what, we'll rely on our front guns and we'll use the mine launchers to just stop any kind of advance. Like that was gorgeous. I hope that people look at the replays and look at that, because that was sweet.
Yeah, those mines can be so potent when they're used correctly. When you get the combos of 2 and 3 hitting all at the same time, engineers simply cannot keep up. It is not physically possible for them to.
Yeah, like, I mean, you saw, like, it's 100-0. Like, that's what we call an insta-gib.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only thing that can do that in the game, is like that mass field of mines.
That boom. I'm going to be a little sadistic here. I may or may not have voted for Angling Raiders.
Ooh.
Yes!
So Jacob's asking me, did you see that mine kill? The answer is yes. How could I have missed it?
I think the entire world saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Cruz 3 lobbies over saw it.
Yeah. Pretty much. Holy cow. Good golly, Miss Molly. That was crazy.
I didn't know we had a picture of a blue cake.
Oh.
Oh,
nice.
Oh, damned. Well,
Happy birthday.
We have all the toys here. Once again, thank you for joining us here at twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show. I am Dan. Rob is on the camera. We have Oracle joining us, co-commentating and whatnot. You're going to be here for Hephaestus tomorrow too, right?
Yep, of course.
And of course, Imagine 42 with the other side of the stream, the other side of the streaming, rather. You can see every single stream and every single piece of commentary. Don't miss a moment. robanddan.tv/live is the place to be. robanddan.tv/live. You can see both the streams when they're live. You can see everything that's going on. Don't miss a moment of the action. You're not going to want to. Trust us on this. Every week is a major event for the Hephaestus Challenge.
Yeah, the Hephaestus Challenge, like every single week. I mean, so many of these teams are riding on a knife's edge. Like, it's so close. I mean, there are some teams that have fallen very far behind and are looking like they're not really going to make it into the gold bracket, and they're going to struggle in the silver bracket. But I mean, this is about as close as these group stages can get. I mean, barring everyone having the exact same score. It's very close. We've had a lot of upsets. We've had a lot of teams really show their stuff and sort of come out of the blue to show that they can be competitive against the stronger teams. And it's about as good of a league as you could ask for.
Absolutely. Again, Clamor versus Overwatch on Parrot and Rumble, and Ryder versus Mad Hatter on Battle on the Dunes tomorrow. Both going to be very good matches. One story that I would love to find out more about is the story of the Riders. Going in, I felt they were one of the strongest teams available, but previous week, I believe week 3 it was, we did not have the normal pilots, Losi and Hillerton. They were not there to show up against HRA, and I believe that was a major contribution to why they went 5-1 against them.
Yeah, I think that was the reason. I mean, they didn't have their captains. And when you don't have your captains against a team that is about as regimented as Rome,
yeah,
you're gonna have a lot. I mean, they play like they're Roman legionnaires.
They do. Talking to Jub, sorry, slip of the tongue. That's an inside joke. He really does organize at least his side of the HRA like the Holy Roman Army, like the Roman legions. It's very strict.
Yeah, it's got to be like the most. I don't know. I kind of want to listen in on one of their practices just for funsies.
Yeah, I've sat on the Holy Mumble a couple times while they're all together and doing stuff, and it can get pretty intense.
That's awesome. I just think that's so cool.
Yeah. But what I'd like to know more about is what happened with the Riders. They were going so well into week 3. They were 2-0. HRA was 2-0. Both teams were looking so solid. Both captains were unavailable. I believe Hillerton is still unavailable right now. We're going to see Luosi again tomorrow. How much is that going to mean, though, for the Rider team?
Who are they going up against again?
They are going up against the Mad Hatters.
I don't think they're gonna have trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Mad Hatters are just too new, and they're too unpracticed. It's not anything against the players. It's just the team hasn't been together for long enough, and they haven't played enough together.
Okay.
I mean, like, even if they've been practicing like nonstop, it doesn't matter. Like you have these teams that have been playing together for like a year.
And with Luosi
back
piloting the LibGTK, most likely, that's going to be a very tough ship to fly against. And
LibGTK is one of those names you see and you just say, yeah, that ship's going to do well.
Or you say, I am going to go to spectator for this game. Thank you. I'm not going to fly against that. I've said that to myself a couple times.
That's when you leave the lobby because, like, I know how this is going to go. Now, but for real, I mean, in a competitive game, the LibGTK is always, like, it's one of the star ships in Guns of Icarus. I mean, it's a name that rolls off the tongue because I've said it so much.
Right now, it's very much like the the balloons. Puppies the balloons.
We haven't seen that as much
lately. No, we haven't. We haven't seen that much lately.
The Galleon has fallen out of favor after the Hades got popular because it's so easy to hit the Galleon with the Hades.
That's
Plus,
true.
You're hitting the guns too, and that's really going to cause a lot of trouble. I think with the Chem Spray meta, it might be something to consider again. But right now, like usually you have a gunner and an engineer, and the engineer on the bottom deck wants to take mallet spanner buff, and then like maybe the gunner takes Chem Spray. I think it depends. I don't know. Different captains run it different ways.
Fair point.
But yeah, there are reasons why you haven't seen the Galleon. I think it's just because generally the Junker can outperform it. I mean, and the Junker isn't even that popular.
No, it's not. Actually, I believe it was Sammy did some calculations on exactly how many of what ships we've seen so far in the Hephaestus Challenge. And while it's not shocking, certainly the results are a bit surprising.
The Pyramidion has been picked 61 times, which is like more than 4 times as much as the next most popular ship. Crazy.
Yeah. The Pyramidion is still incredibly strong.
Well, we look at this. We see the proliferation of the buff kit. Like we see how popular it is, and you see it perpetually applied to the engines. And when you get to when you have engines buffed, it makes these engagements last so much shorter because ships are engaging a lot faster, a lot harder, and so you end up.
Would they be engaging harder, better, faster, and stronger?
Stronger. Oh yeah, totally. I mean, you're buffing it. Yeah. So it's harder, better, faster, stronger than it usually is. It makes the engagements shorter. And so you need a ship that as you're approaching, you have arcs. Like there is no compromise in a lot of these situations, especially for these teams that really like brawling. It's like maybe the Pyramidion isn't the most maneuverable, but you can engage and have your guns like immediately there. Like you waste no time getting those guns firing.
Yep.
Yada yada theory craft. Yay.
Well, it makes sense, and it's really easy to keep those Pyramidion engines buffed. It's so easy.
Mm-hmm.
So incredibly easy.
Well, you usually have the starboard side gunner take the buff kit.
Mhm.
And that's actually why you see sometimes see the mortar on that side, is because the person who's on the balloon is going to perpetually be there anyway.
Mhm.
And so he can just fire it immediately, while the person person with the buff kit can take a minute to get back up on the mortar, so that can be delayed just a little bit, and wait for the armor to go down. No, like armor goes down as he's climbing back up.
Waiting for that armor shred.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like while he's waiting for that, like he doesn't have to be perpetually at the ready, so he's just down buffing the engines, buffing the hull. And usually the main NG takes chem spray, just keeps the chem spray cycles going, because that takes more maintenance than a buff.
Yeah, if a buff drops, yeah, it's gonna suck a little bit, but I mean, you're not gonna suddenly take twice as much damage. But if a chem spray rotation fails and you start getting fire stacks on the main engine and one of the secondaries, you're kind of fucked.
Just a little bit. Waiting for people to
That's
ready
a
up.
very
I
big
guess
deal.
people getting their emptying their bladders before they have to,
More
go
like
5
talking
hours
about
on
cake
Angry
fan
Raiders.
fiction.
Baby.
Wait, what?
So a stacked cake.
Oh, that's awesome. By the way, guys, just so you know, about an hour after we're done with the Iron Fork, about an hour or so after the Cake vs. Ducks private scrim, we are going to be doing some Viscera cleanup detail.
Yeah, you've been enjoying that. I saw you playing
love
that
it.
earlier this morning.
I love it. Like, I unreasonably enjoy this game.
I'm probably not going to be able to watch, but I really want to see that. Like, I want to see this at some point. I don't get the appeal.
It's going to be Maddie and myself cleaning up. Maddie has never played before, ever.
Oh, that's right. There's multiplayer, isn't there?
Yes, you can have up to 4 people cleaning. Also, a friend of the show, Undercover Lucky, if he's still around, apparently him and 3 friends saw me playing it the other night and decided this would be fun. This would be fun to speed run.
What? That actually would be interesting.
So, Undercover Lucky is a known speedrunner. Like, he holds a single world record himself.
What game?
Rugrats, the
category?
video game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
He quite literally got a perfect run. You cannot get a faster time than what he has.
Seriously?
The RNG was perfect.
Well, there's got to be some movement.
He already had the movement down.
So, like, it's just a really optimized run.
It's optimization and RNG, and the RNG was perfect, and the optimization was already there. It's crazy. Like, he mechanizes these things. Anywho, apparently they're figuring out how to speed run Viscera cleanup detail.
Well, it's only an alpha, though, or beta. Alpha, beta?
Alpha, beta, schmeta, falfa, whatever.
The fuck is a falfa?
Wasn't he in
Alfalfa?
Little Rascals?
Oh, hey, Deus Ex Human is on sale.
Oh, there's lots of great sales. We'll go over Steam sales here after this one. We are loading up here. Anglian Raiders is the map. It's Crazy King Oracle. Tell us about it.
It's big. The way Crazy King works is you have a bunch of points. So you have 5 points, and each of them is only active for a short amount of time. And so teams have to race from point to point, trying to capture them and collect 550 points total. So that's 550 not consecutive, but 550 total seconds of point controlled time. And Anglian Raiders is huge.
That may not seem like much time, but that's a ton of time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like so 30. That's almost 10 minutes.
Almost 10 minutes.
That's 9 minutes, 10 seconds.
Alrighty,
We're getting underway.
Yep, going over ship loadouts here. We have the Poke, piloted by Abby the Rat. Not sticking with Get Motor. She's going Carronade Flamer, the Kara Flamer build with Flamer and Mine Launcher support. It is Pyramidion, by the way. Next ship is, that's the Alamancer. If I can get ship names, please. Game, thank you. Piloted by Sir Morty. It's a Squid, Carronade front, side Flamer, back Mine Launcher. And then we have the Lutetia, piloted by Halia Farron. Gap Mortar, Metamidian with Carronade and Flamer in support.
And for the blue team, we have the Colossus Jaeger, a Junker, being piloted by Orangey. On the port side, we have a Hades Artemis with a Mercury on the front once again, and Gap Mortar on the starboard. Aboard the Iron Foch, a galleon being piloted by Fox. There we go. Port side, Carronade. Whatever. Carronade Hwacha on both sides with a mini Carronade on top and a Harpoon on back. And aboard the VSS Mummy, a Pyramidion being piloted by Acronymus. Gotta make it quick. Carronade Flamer on the front, Banshee Flamer on the port side. Already, hull armor going down on the Colossus Jaeger. Ram comes in. Poke gets the kill. Blue team looking strong, but the red team has quite a bit of cap on that point.
The Iron Foch is a very strong ship. Mummy and Iron Foch dealing with one of the red ships there. The Lutetia went down, but Iron Foch is not in arc of the Poker, the Alamancer. They're going to need to do a little bit of shifting here. Tactical bump. Mummy, though, not in good shape. Poke and the Alamancer are both dropping the hammer on it. Armor goes down. Poke is going to get in there and try to grind it down. It's going to happen. Mummy is going to go down here. Armor down, hull gone.
That was remarkably quick.
What we just saw is exactly why I say Abby the Rat is fucking scary to fly against. She will do everything in her power, including abuse her engineers, to make sure you die.
Yeah, that was remarkably fast for a disabler Pyramidion. Iron Foch can be the next target. I feel like at this point, though, the red team is sort of wasting their time at this point. If they kill a blue ship, it's just going to put them closer to the next point.
Iron Foch did not have perfect chem spray up. They are going to start burning just a little bit, but they're quickly out of arc of the Poke. Poke is left in the dust. Alamancer and Poke far behind. It looks like blue team is going to go for B.
Yep, I think that's the right decision. Right now, though, we already have Lutetia sitting on point B. It's going to go active in just a moment. Red team going to pick up like 3 points. But the fact that they have Lutetia already on point B is really, really strong. I mean, what's coming in? I mean, we have the Iron Foch, we have the Mummy, and the Colossus Jaeger. I don't think any of those ships are really fast enough to, unless the Lutetia steps off the point.
They stepped just barely off the point. They haven't
Lutetia,
realized their
why?
mistake either. Oh
No, they
my
haven't.
goodness. They
Yep,
could easily
red
have control
team-
the point by now.
They've given up their advantage. Like, they've given up the reason they sent the Lutetia to the point first. And now the Colossus Jaeger has a golden opportunity, but it's kind of dancing around right now. There we go. Gatling going out, but a lot of that Gatling going to miss. It's going to take more than one clip. Doesn't matter that much, though. Iron Foch is coming in. What a massive mistake.
That was a major mistake by the Lutetia. They had that point locked down, sitting right on top of it, saying, hey, come at me, come over here. I'm already sitting here on the point. Whoa, we just lost the Junker.
Yeah, the Colossus Jaeger took too long to get those guns into arc, and the Lutetia was able to keep fire going down on the Colossus Jaeger for long enough. Poke right now doing double duty, throwing out Flamer on both the Iron Foch and the Mummy. Lutetia, though, still in a bad spot.
This is...
It put itself in a compromising position to kill that Junker.
Lutetia going down here. Mummy has him absolutely dead to rights, but they spin their side around on him. Lutetia, they're trying to get the Banshee in arc. They're going for a Banshee to disable one of those engines while they do their reloads, it looks like. Banshees get those engines. Lutetia is pretty much dead in the water. Poke has the Iron Foch right where it wants it, too. Carronade and Flamer are eating that galleon alive. The red team had this point. The Lutetia was sitting right on it. They could have had, 80 points from it already, but they gave that up.
Mummy, though, going to get targeted by the Alamancer. Alamancer going to make sure that nobody gets this point. The Poke taking out the Iron Foch pretty darn quick. And it's going to go down in just a minute here. They bring the balloon back up, but that's not going to stick around for very long. The poke stopping the Foch from rising back up. Kearney going to pop the balloon, throw it back down into the ground.
This is, again, one of the reasons that Aberrat is such a brutal pilot. She uses not just the arcs, the triple arc available to the Pyramidion. She will use the nose cone of her hull and her balloon if necessary to make sure you do not get arc on her. And she will use it very actively.
Well, that's something that takes a little bit of practice.
It does.
Using the nose cone to bump someone down into the ground while keeping those guns in arc, like that speaks to experience more than anything else.
It does, absolutely.
Mummy right now having a little bit of trouble. Right now we're still only sitting on 7 points for the red team. That's nothing. That's nothing. Not this early in the game. Maybe like at the very end. But
anyone's game. Even if a team is a couple 100 points up, it's still anyone's game.
What do we got? So the Lutetia coming in on the point. Allomancer there as well. Mummy fairly disabled. Red team, though, not going to get anything off of this point. Already teams are moving to C, but it looks like the blue team has reacted earlier. And the Iron Foch is going to be there much earlier. It's going to be there as the point flips. Mm-hmm. That is going to be a huge advantage for the blue team.
With that Galleon sitting on the point, it's going to have all those medium guns pointed straight at where the red team's coming from. Even if Poke gets a really good initiative off on that Galleon, even with the Colossal Jaeger maybe repositioning itself. Oh, Iron Foch bounces, though.
That's going to be okay.
A little bit of a mistake there.
I think it's going to be okay, at least.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's... Oh, the Poke doing quite a bit of work to the Colossal Jaeger.
Yep.
Doesn't quite take out the balloon. No, there it goes. Both balloons on the Iron Foch, and the Colossal Jaeger down. And the red team looking to take control of this point. However, it's going to take a minute for the Allomancer and the Poke to actually take these ships out. Unless the Iron Foch bounces, or I should say bottoms out.
Here.
Yeah.
They're going to ground out.
Oh, no.
Badly.
That is not what they wanted to do. They needed to move forward, make sure that they stayed alive, but they're going to go down. Blue team takes the point, though. Poke, for some reason, like, I don't even understand how these points work.
The point control zones are a little finicky. Poke, though, getting hit very hard by the Mummy, trying to kill the Iron Foch before it goes down. Lutetia saves his ally, though. Allomancer, Lutetia, Poke, doing an amazing job together of organizing and taking out the blue team. Just the Colossal Jaeger. Orangey is the only one left on this point.
Yep, but not going to last too much longer, I don't think. Blue team, too much of an advantage to have a Galleon there. It took way too much firepower to take that Galleon down, and that allowed the rest of the blue team to come, blue team to come in. However, the Lutetia going to manage to take the point, I think, as soon as the Colossal Jaeger goes down.
They
or
should
not.
already be
what in
capping
the world?
Point. Lutetia is too high. Lutetia is way too high to cap the point.
Halia, why? Halia far on why? There we go. Okay. So giving up quite a few points to the blue team. This is going to even it out pretty close if Halia can manage to keep the Pyramidion on the point.
Red team did an amazing job there. The blue team they were getting set up pretty well on the point, but there were some minor placement issues, positioning issues that the blue team was having, specifically with the Iron Foch. They took advantage of that, and as soon as they could, they got the kills they needed. They could get about 40 points. Yeah, they're going to get about 40 points off this.
Yeah, that's not much. I mean, the point cap is 550. We are still a long ways off from victory for either side right now.
Yep. Better though, they stopped the blue team from getting a decently sized lead on them.
Mm-hmm.
Because blue team did get that cap right off the bat on C. D is going to be the next point in the far northeastern corner of the map. That's over in E4. And it looks like the Iron Foch is once again already set up there, ready to go, ready to take on anything that comes at it.
I like what they do. Like the Galleon just says, hey, no point in going onto the point that's currently active. Let's just go to the next one. Get ready for it. I mean, and that's what the Galleon's best at when you're talking about capture point maps. Like, that's what you want to do with it. You want to get it onto the point early, force the enemy to come to you. And that's what they're doing. Blue team going to get this point cap very, very early. Poke still a little ways off. And whoa. What is the Allomancer doing? Okay, there you go. Iron Foch rising up, ready to take on the Poke.
This will be pretty easy for the Iron Foch. Watches going out already. They hit, I'd say about 75% of that clip hit. Poke, though, not getting disabled in the least. They're moving in. They're arcing something fierce on the Iron Foch, but the Poke essentially just rams itself downwards. It does not get anything from that.
Iron Foch burns away its balloon, allows it to burn away, going to drop back down onto the point, try to stop the Poke. Yep, Poke contesting the construction site right now. Iron Foch brings this balloon back up. The Allomancer is here to take it back down once again. I almost feel like the Foch should leave its balloon down for just a minute, allow itself to get low enough to block the point. Mummy coming in as well. So Mummy's going to be able to block. Iron Foch in a huge amount of trouble. The Mummy is going to have to take advantage
Iron
of
Foch
the
has
vulnerability of the
amazing.
Poke.
Iron Foch has amazing chem spray though. Poke is Kara Flamer. Allomancer is Kara Flamer. Those flamers aren't doing anything to that Galleon right now. There are only 3 fires that have started. Hull though does go down. Poke trying to move in, trying to take advantage of that. Iron Foch losing some hull there. Losing just a bit of hull. It's down to just about half before the armor comes back up. But Abby, because of the extremely low permahull, gets a little too ram happy on the Iron Foch with the Poke and kills her own Pyramidion using those rams.
Yep, Mummy not looking great though. Goes down. Well, yeah, it's not looking great. It's in pieces. Iron Foch still bouncing along the ground. I mean, if you want to be any ship stuck on the ground, it may as well be a Galleon, but I don't think that's going to last much longer. Mortars going into the rubble, but enough of them hit. There it goes. Red team going to be able to neutralize the point a little bit early, so they're going to deny maybe 40 points. Yeah, 45 points from the blue team, but still, blue team managing to pick up quite a few. They're at 207 right now.
They are starting to pull a little bit ahead. They're really starting to say, well, you're going to have to figure out a way to deal with that Galleon a lot faster if you want to take these points.
I mean, popping the balloon isn't going to be enough. I mean, balloon popping, it's going to put them down on the ground, but in most cases, it's still going to allow them to block the point.
It's delightfully inside the zone of control for the points. Absolutely.
Galleons, they're okay bouncing along the ground. Like they don't care that much about it unless like they're being rammed into it. So like they can survive for a fair amount of time on the ground.
It's certainly not the worst ship to take a ram with.
And look at this, like the Iron Foch, the red team is making a huge mistake. I think instead of just damaging it and leaving it and then going to the next point, they're killing it. And so the blue team has been able to get the Iron Foch onto every single point. Every time. Ooh, Allomancer blocks the point.
It's a really good block, too.
Yeah, the Iron Foch went too far. Oh, backs up. Oopsie daisy. Blue team gonna get an early cap.
One big mistake that I think is happening, red team has a squid. That squid should be the first one on the point every single time before it activates. There is no good reason why it shouldn't be.
Yeah, the Iron Foch should not be allowed to do that. Allomancer moving out on the Iron Foch, but it's afraid right now. I mean, it's up against big ram going to bring down its armor. It's doing okay though. But yeah, I red team is not playing this the way they need to right now.
They're playing very reactively to what the blue team is doing. They need to be active. They need to be proactive. In fact, they need to make sure they are on the point first. And when that Galleon is trying to get into position to get on the point so they can then defend it once it turns, bam, the squid's already there. It's already harassing the Galleon. The Galleon is not in position yet. Chaos ensues. The chem spray rotation starts to degrade. They can't get the guns and arc properly. A ship is going to die at that point, and it's probably not going to be the Allomancer.
Iron Foch bottoming out. Mummy getting targeted. Gonna go down pretty darn quick. So blue team, like, they just can't win these fights, but their tactics are better. Like, right now, there's a minute and a half left on this point, and the Colossi Jäger not looking great. No blue ships on the point right now. No red ship. Okay, there's one. Colossi Jäger is there. It's going to go down pretty quick, though, I think, to the Lutetia.
Mm-hmm. Red team is going to be able to recap this point. It's just a question of when and how few points you're going to deny the blue team. Because as it stands, yep, the Junker was the only one on the point. The Galleon is down as well. Mummy just spawns back in. The point control right now is E, but soon it's going to move back to A at the center of the map. Why the Mummy's moving into E, I'm not too entirely sure.
So I'd like to point out, Iron Foch died. Okay, so it didn't quite get the opportunity that it wanted to.
No,
but no, it's going to be able to get to A. I think will it? Maybe
Elements
not.
is the first one there this time, which is exactly what should happen. Red team again. Red team has the faster ships. They should be on the point first. Then they can engage and control the blue team much more easily.
God, just stop destroying the Foch. Like, stop it. You're just doing exactly what it wants you to do. So 10 seconds left. Right now, red team sitting on point A. They're going to be okay. I think blue team is going to be able to block this, though. It's not going to be too big of an issue. Unless the Iron Foch hits a mine. Whoopsie daisy. Iron Foch hitting a mine, lighting a fire on an engine, doing a lot of damage to that hull.
Allomancer is in a lot of trouble. 3 engines are down. That's not a good situation for a squid. They're struggling to get the engines back up. Balloon has not come up yet. They could tap here on the ground. Are they going to? Nah, it's not going to be that big a deal. Armor does go down, but it's not a big deal.
Colossi Jäger doing a good job on the poke. Mortars don't come out fast enough, and the Iron Foch is going to go down. Stuck up against the wall.
Both are going to go down.
A harsh world killed Iron Foch.
I see that. Wow.
That's pretty great.
Colossi Jäger is now trying to deal with the Lutetia as best it can. Mortars flying. Gats are flying. Colossi Jäger is a bit harder to hit, though. But good lord, the gunning on the Lutetia was prime.
Yep.
And
not
red
too
team
darn bad.
is able to neutralize.
Yep. Quite good. Like, the Colossi Jäger left itself open for a moment. Lutetia jumped right on it. Mummy now, gonna be the target, but I feel like the red team just needs to get on the point right now. Time is ticking.
We have only about 120 seconds left on this point, and red has only captured about a third of the way to get any points. They're behind by about 250 points, which means they do have a little bit of catching up to do. Allomancer pressuring the Mummy. Lutetia could easily sling back. It has slung back and is capturing the point. They'll get about 100 points out of this. Not bad.
If they can manage to hold it. There we go. They're still going to be fairly far behind. Mummy going to go down, though. I feel like they should just leave it. Like, don't kill it. Just keep it stuck down in that rut. They're going to kill it, though. God, the red team is just... I feel like the red team is not... They're playing like this is a death match. They're not playing like this is a capture the point match.
They're not playing to their strengths either.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not using the Allomancer to get there early. Tie up the Iron Foch and then like get going to the point. They're not playing the way they need to. Like they're not like, and there are just too many mistakes. And I feel like that's what's setting the blue team ahead right now.
As it stands, the poke is already on B. When it opens up here in about 50 seconds, red still has the control of A, and they should get the rest of the points out of it. Iron Foch, though, moving in quite speedily, actually, on the poke. They've had those engines revved, and they are fully buffed. That galleon is moving.
Yeah. When a galleon is unimpaired, it can get going.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, its top speed is okay. It just takes a minute to get going. The engagement's going to happen early. Red team moving on to point B. I think that this is definitely in favor of red team. The fact that everyone's moving to be like so early. Allomancer is already going.
You're correct. Allomancer is crawling up behind the Iron Foch very speedily and quietly. Allomancer poke gonna have a time against the Iron Foch. Allomancer, great arcs. Great arcs on that galleon. They're going to be able to deal with it pretty easily. Balloon already down. Allomancer balloon down as well, though. They need to bring that back up. Chem spray rotations on the Iron Foch, pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. They only have a few fires to deal with on the galleon. Allomancer has things back in order. Their balloon is back. Their guns are back. Their engines are back. Oh, this is a very tough situation for Iron Foch when they have a speedy, agile squid just... Oh my god!
Whoopsie daisy. Get too aggressive on a galleon, you throw your squid into the arcs. That's what's going to happen. Now, Iron Foch going up against the Poke. Balloons down once again. Watcher goes wide. And Foch not looking great.
Quite intelligently, Poke held back while the squid engaged the Iron Foch, kept it engaged. Poke able to capture the point, now able to come in, deal with the Iron Foch. No problem there. Abby has an easy time with that. They get the kill on the Iron Foch. It's now 2-1, Mummy versus Lutetia and Poke.
Yep, Mummy's got arc on the Poke, but Lutetia got that Gatling going down. Banshee does a considerable amount of damage to the hull, but the Mummy gets a ram of the Poke, does more damage to itself. Lutetia finishes it off.
That armor drop time from Lutetia was absolutely critical in that engagement. If they hadn't brought the armor down right before they hit the Poke, that Pyramidion would not have died. The Poke would be in much greater trouble, and now it wouldn't be a 3v1 against the Colossus Jaeger.
Colossus Jaeger, not looking so great. Poke coming in. I feel like this is just to keep red team, on the point. Like, blue team's just going to have to kind of throw dudes at the point at this point. Yeah, there it goes. Colossus Jaeger goes down. So let's see what's the plan going to be for blue team right now? Like, they are in, like, red team's catching up. They're putting themselves in a decent position. They're starting to play to their strengths at long last, and they're catching up. Like, the Iron Foch has got to, like, the blue team has got to mobilize together more. I feel like they're playing too separately. And where is the Iron Foch going? Why is it not beelining for C?
The thing the blue team has going for it is firepower. It has the most firepower available to it. If it's not using that firepower, though, it's going to always be playing to its weaknesses.
Or that's not the Iron Foch. I'm sorry. I'm biffing. So who is that? That's the Mummy. Okay,
yeah,
sorry about that. Where's the Mummy? That's what I meant. Where's the Mummy going?
Not too sure. I don't honestly know. Iron Foch sitting right on the point, though. Colossus Jaeger right behind to support. Allomancer coming in. Yep, it has been spotted. Flamers going out on the Colossus Jaeger. Iron Foch, though, going to rise. Going to try and get that Hwacha into arc as best it can.
Allomancer armor goes down, though. Iron Foch, ooh, nasty uppercut. Nice high
brilliant uppercut. Morty just...
coming in.
Morty walked
right now. Red team trying to... Well, we just can't talk, can we?
No.
Daga. Poke coming in on the Iron Foch. Iron Foch getting the worst of this. Colossus Jaeger struggling against some of the scenery. Watcher comes out, doesn't disable anything. And the Poke suddenly has the advantage in this fight, unless the Colossus Jaeger could do something. Which should be able to, because that has a gap mortar.
The Poke has a very good position on the Iron Foch, but Colossus Jaeger is going to be an immense problem for the Poke. It has so many tools available to it. Gat already dropping. We're going to see the mortar here shortly. Armor goes down on the Poke. Mortar comes in. Quick mathematical formula. Blue team gets formula. What did I say?
Formula.
Why did I say formula? Blue team gets the cap. They're going to get 160 seconds of unadulterated pointage.
Beautiful. That sounds dirty somehow. That's going to bring them up to 500 points, and that's going to put them that's going to put the red team in a very dangerous place. Like, they're desperately going to have to throw their bodies at the points from this point on.
No leapfrog in here.
Kill the Foch. Stop killing the galleon. Ugh. I'm sorry, that enrages me so much.
Yeah, if they force the galleon down, if they ground it out, and if they kill its engines, sometime near when the point flips over, Iron Foch is going to have to figure out, okay, we get our engines up. Okay, which way do we go? And 5 minutes later, they might actually get to the point. But
Mhm.
if you kill it, they can just happily spawn wherever they want on the map, bring their guns into Ark, and kill stuff.
Right now, Colossus Jaeger firing in on Lutesha. Lutesha not looking great right now, but there's not a lot of hull damage. That's the power you lose when you decide to go Merc forward instead of a trifecta build. Elemancer dropping down. Mummy staying on it. Elemancer might be in a little bit of trouble here. It's lost 2 of its engines. Mummy, though, turning back. It's more worried about the Lutesha taking away points. However, I think this is going to give the red team an opportunity. If the Lutesha can just keep the blue team busy enough, then the red team can set up on point D.
I absolutely correct. And I think they're going to do exactly that.
Yeah, Iron Foch is already moving to the next point, but it's going to set itself at a disadvantage. You never want to be the one approaching as a broadsiding ship. Oh, Lutesha going to go down, it looks like. Banshee, got to do a little bit. There we go.
It did its job. It kept the Colossus Jaeger and Mummy busy long enough.
Yep, Colossus Jaeger, pretty darn slow. I don't think it's going to be able to make it to point D fast enough. It is all the way across the map, and look at this. All the blue ships are going to have to cross the whole map to get there.
Additionally, Iron Foch is about half hull. It still doesn't have 2 of its guns available to it. 2 of its guns are still down. They simply haven't had time to do full repairs. It takes a long time to do full repairs on a galleon. A long time. So between the kerosene in the engines and the chem spray rotations, they simply can't get to repairing those extra guns, which is exactly why you don't kill a galleon on this map.
Well, they're going to be able to repair them. They're going to be able to repair them. They don't need to worry about chem spray right now. Like, they can if they want to. I get the feeling they're just being lazy at this point. Look at this. Point already being captured by the Poke. Poke's going to stay on it while the Lutesha and the Alamancer move forward to try and slow the blue team down.
Alamancer has a really great ambush spot here available to it. Lutesha can draw them in, which they are doing right now with the Iron Foch. Alamancer zips in afterwards. Looks like Iron Foch does have Lutesha's number, but Alamancer is coming in straight from behind and is going to have just... Oh, no, Alamancer's peeling off. What?
It's looking... It's going to be engaging the other blue ships. Like, the Mummy, though, coming around the side... I feel like the Elemancer should be trying to sort of go for the Mummy in this case, but Lutesha getting the worst end of the Foch.
That's really absolutely understandable. Wait, no, Lutesha had Iron Foch was approaching the Lutesha. How would they not have the advantage?
Okay, Mummy moving in. I see what the Elemancer was trying to do. The problem, like the Colossus Jaeger is setting up on point E, just getting ready for it, but I feel like it should just go in. I mean, it'll have plenty of time to go in, like in the middle of the fight. It can leave if it wants to, but it's not going to. Elemancer lost its armor. Lutesha not looking great. I think the Iron Foch should be able to finish it off, and the Poke, it looks like getting the worst end of this initial fight between the Mummy and itself.
They weren't ready. I don't think Poker's ready. They didn't have the Carronade and Flamer going there as Mummy was approaching. Mummy is essentially untouched. Poke starting to wake up, though.
More. Oh, good golly. Fire on the bloom.
Great.
How much fire? 20 stacks. Oh, Extinguisher going to take care of it. But armor not looking great. Mummy's guns thrown entirely out of arc.
Mummy's
spiraling. Doing a great job here.
Mummy is spiraling downwards. They're in a lot of trouble. Alamancer not having a good time against the Colossus Jaeger at all. That Junker able to easily deal with what the Alamancer has to offer. They have fires all over the place. As far as it stands, the Colossus Jaeger, able to pretty well deal with the Alamancer so far.
Yep. This is going to be a really important fight because it's so drawn out. The Poke and the Mummy not really going to be a part of this next fight. I think that this next point capture will win it. Alamancer goes down. However, it's 40 seconds left on point D. I think that's going to be enough time for it to get back in there.
Easily. The squid is so fast, it really doesn't matter. Iron Foch moving in to support the Colossus Jaeger, though, with both the Junker and the Galleon sitting on a point so early, it's going to be very hard to unseat the blue team from victory in this situation.
Lutesha moving in. Mummy, or let's see, who is that?
Oh my
Poke.
goodness.
Lutetia and Poke are
Alamancer.
moving in.
Look at Alamancer's spawn
Why?
all the
Is
way
that really
across the map.
Is that really the closest spot?
I hope not.
3 seconds left. Points
That's
going to go
ridiculous.
active. Watcher goes out on Lutetia, goes wide. Red team has a chance to move in here, but the Colossus Jaeger has those sniping guns in arc, and it's ready to fire.
Watching that control point.
Fire.
Timer.
There you go.
They get the... do they contest? Lutetia has not contested yet somehow. There it is. Ally Farron just blocked that cap. Although Lutetia's in a really bad way. Poke, though, coming in very speedily. They're going in for a ram on the Colossus Jaeger. Poke moving in for a broadside. But, oh my goodness, its ally goes down already.
Oof, Colossus Jaeger getting a nasty ram. Balloon down, armor not looking great, but there's the Hwacha. Doesn't disable anything.
There's the cap.
But the Carronade. There we go. Blue team picking it up, and I think that's going to be it. The mummy's here. That's it. Blue team pick up the victory.
It's going to be so hard to unseat the blue team if you're red right now. Poke goes down.
No, you're done. They're done. They're done.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Always
Unless, but Mummy overshot. Colossus Jaeger not on the point, not quite. These teams are just really dancing around it. Alamancer not looking great, drops down. There we
If
go.
Alamancer had held back on the point, they might have uncapped it. That's kind of frightening.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of these teams sort of misplayed these points. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes. I mean, it's not like these teams play capture points all the time. This is like competitive players are death matchers. Like they're not like capture the point isn't really a competitive game mode. Not really.
It's still not. The Aerodrome is trying to make specifically Crazy King and 3v3 a competitive situation, but it's still not to where that 2v2 death matches where it just feels like a solid competitive matchup every single time.
Yeah, this is a little bit goofier, but that's gonna be that. Blue team pick up the victory.
We'll probably have time for one more game today. Again, you're watching the Iron Fork Friday here, twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show. Let's do the battle on the dunes. Let's see exactly what kind of crews we have to work with. A couple folks stepping out. You do have space. What is the password again?
Shortbread.
Short crust?
Short crust. Dang
Short crust. All I need to hear is short.
Yeah, Jacob's saying this is the last game since they have a scrimmage.
Makes sense. That makes sense. We will see Battle on the Dunes. It will be a death match.
Mom loves
Get into that.
shortcake. Mom loves a shortcake bread. That is if we can actually fill the lobby. I think a lot of people are just heading out after that. Like they're just exhausted.
A lot of people are getting ready for scrims tonight. I know Cake has a scrim. Ducks have a scrim. I'm not sure who else is scrimming, but I know there are a couple other ones going on.
Yeah, I think that this may be it. Ugh, a lot of people left.
That was a long game.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty long game.
I mean, I feel like capture the point maps are more exhausting.
They are, especially Crazy King.
Mm-hmm. Like positioning is
Yes. Woo!
well, the positioning is so vague that it's it kind of taxes you trying to figure it out.
Certainly. We do have a few others hopping in game.
Whoa, DVS. I recognize that tag.
That is that the DVS I'm thinking of?
I'm thinking from Planet Side.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking as well.
No, I don't think that's them.
Well, we'll see.
That's funny. We both recognized it from Planet Side.
I don't think it's them.
No, it's not.
Don't believe so. So we'll see if this gets underway. We'll see if this last game happens. With that being said, though, do we have a Sunday community skirmish this Sunday?
We do. I'm just not streaming it. It's going to be on a different stream.
All right. Do you know who's going to be streaming it then?
I'm not sure. I need to go check. I think it might still be up in the air.
Gotcha. Okay. Normally that's you that handles it every week. How long you at your parents for?
Couple weeks. So I'm not going to be doing the next Sunday community skirmish either.
Well, that's going to be boring for you.
It's so sad.
Very sad.
It's still going to be casting though.
That's true. That's true. Waiting to see if this last game is actually going to happen. We will let you know as soon as we know. If this last one is not happening, don't go anywhere, folks, after this. I'd say about 2 hours from now, we're going to be getting it underway with, what's it called? Viscera
cleanup detail?
Yeah, Viscera cleanup detail. Myself and Maddie Lee are going to be doing that.
So it's that much fun. I'm going to have to check this out.
It's so much fun. That's the sad part. We are going to go ahead and call the Iron Fork of Friday here just a little bit early, about 20 minutes early, because there is a big cake duck scrim happening here in just about a half hour. So with that being said, Oracle, any closing thoughts? Looking forward to tomorrow?
I want to see what the Mad Hatters do.
It's gonna be big.
Oh, there we go. Yep, closed out. Yeah, I am really interested. Like that's probably I think I know how it's going to go, but I'm interested to see exactly what happens. Esports Commentary Tycoon 2014.
I want to play that game. They have every other kind of tycoon.
Well, I think that's going to be it for the Iron Fork.
That is. Thank you, Rob, of course, on the cameras. We will see you all together tomorrow for the Hephaestus Challenge, 4 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. Do not miss it. For Rob and Oracle, I have been Dan. Thank you for joining us for the Iron Fork this evening. Good night now.